Hello there, welcome back to Simplified English Pronunciation. Here I am Celia and we are all set to learn some more English phonemes. Are you there with me? Dear all, I know it is hectic work for us articulating and revising the phonemes which we learn in our sessions. But good practice brings the best results so that you will be able to instantly make the appropriate sounds as you speak. You know that sound recognition and generation have to happen instantly, naturally, and also spontaneously. Just like a pianist or a flutist play the various notes of the instrument perfectly like a pro. That is exactly what we are supposed to do when we utter these sounds as we converse in English. Now, over to our 4 new phonemes. I shall quickly articulate and demonstrate how these sounds are produced. We have again 2 voiceless consonants and 2 voiced consonants. They are s, z, and z. They are the 4 phonemes. Quite funny, right? Now we will see how these sounds are articulated and produced in its innate manner. The first phoneme is th, and when you utter the sound, the tip of the tongue is making a light contact with the upper teeth, and the air is escaping through the narrow space, causing audible friction. That is how the sound is made. Okay, so when you make that sound, when you articulate the phoneme, you are literally holding your tongue closer and it is even touching the upper teeth. The tongue is touching the upper teeth, as in this is indeed a funny sound and the structure is quite funny, but you have to make it so in order to have the perfect sound evolved. So when you articulate, the tongue should be visible. Only then the sound will come. Okay, so it's a funny sound. It's a funny structure, but don't care about anything of these. Consider only the sound. And as the air gushes out, it is causing audible friction. And that's how sound is produced. As in thin, as in thick, as in thank you. So it's not thank you, it is thank you. It's not think, it's think. Think. That's the right sound. So remember, always the tongue should touch the upper teeth and it should be partially visible too. There is nothing wrong in it. That's the right way of uttering that sound. It's so if you have to pronounce the English in the proper manner, you have to have the correct structure. It is needed. Okay, so it is thank you. Now, the sound is called a voiceless consonant, dental fricative, as audible friction is felt and heard. Example, thin, thin. It's not thin, it's thin. Thank. Pass, path. It's not path. Okay, it's path. We have to unlearn it. It's not path, it's path. Pass. It might appear quite awkward, at least in the beginning, but you are doing the right thing. Okay, there is nothing wrong if you do the right thing. It's path. And another word is youth. It's not youth, it's youth. The sound is a voiced consonant, as you might have understood through the vibration. It is a voiced consonant, dental fricative. And as you can hear, the audible friction along with the vibration. It is a voiced consonant. And the sound is produced with the tongue which is placed at the same position as in s, but here we have more vibration since it is a voiced consonant. Example, this, that, rather, whether, etc. So it's not rather, it's rather. It's rather. It's not whether, it's whether. These are the examples. Now we go to the third phoneme, which is again a very simple sound compared to the previous two sounds. The new phoneme is S. S. The sound is represented by the alphabet S. The sound S is a voiceless consonant and alveolar fricative. And while uttering this sound, the tip of the tongue is brought very close to the alveolar ridge or the teeth ridge, and the air is escaping by causing a hissing sound this time, as in words like snake. Okay, so here in order to utter the sound S, the tongue is raised and is brought almost close to the teeth ridge. Almost close തൊടുന്നില്ല, almost തൊട്ടില്ല എന്നുള്ള അവസ്ഥയിലാണ്, സ്പർശിക്കുന്നില്ല. ആസ് ഇൻ ദി സൗണ്ട് ശരിക്കും തൊടുന്നുണ്ട്, അപ്പറ്റി ഇതിൽ സ്പർശിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. പക്ഷേ നമ്മൾ ഈ ഒരു സൗണ്ട് നമ്മൾ പറയുമ്പോൾ ഒരിക്കലും നാക്ക് ടീത്ത് റിഡ്ജിൽ സ്പർശിക്കുന്നില്ല. ഓൾമോസ്റ്റ് ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് raised to the teeth ridge. That is the position. It's and the air is just gushing through the sides, causing that audible friction. And the examples are snake. See the hissing sound heard. Snake, small, smell. These are the perfect examples. Now we go over to the last phoneme, the fourth phoneme, which is Z. You might have understood it is a voiced consonant. So it is vibrating. And when you utter the sound, the tongue position is the same as in the case of S. Okay, the position of the tongue is the same. But instead of a hissing sound, we are producing a buzzing sound, since it is a voice consonant. Sound as in zebra, zoo, etc. Okay, so the tongue position is the same. It is raised almost near the teeth ridge, but the consonant is a voiced consonant and it vibrates. If you place your fingers on your throat, you can feel vibration. Zzz, zzz. And we don't feel any vibration in the case of S. It's only hissing sound. So that is the subtle difference. Now we shall do some practical work on the board. So welcome to the practical session as we get to know more words and their articulation. Now let's learn the first phoneme of the day. It's not th, it's s. That's the sound. And see, it is a combination of two letters that produce that particular sound, and we do not have any alphabet in English to represent the sound except for the phonemic symbol, and this is the phonemic symbol for this sound. It's so as you utter, you know, the tongue is literally seen outside and it is touching the upper teeth. So that is the trick. That's the sound. Okay, don't feel bad, let it be seen. That's how the sound is produced. As in sank. It's sank. It's almost like sank. It's not sank. Okay, it's not sank. It's sank. Sank. There is a subtle difference between sank and sank. You have to know that. Okay, it's sank. Second is thick. Thick. Okay, it's not sick. It's thick. Next it is think. 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 Next word is, here we have next word is nothing. Nothing. It's not nothing. It's nothing. nothing. Okay, as you practice, you will get that sound. Okay, don't worry. Sometimes at your first attempt, sometimes you won't get it, but through repeated practice, I'm sure you will get it. It's nothing, nothing. Next is, again, we have here earth. It's not earth, it's earth. Okay, earth. Again, the sound bath, bath. It's not bath, it's bath. Bathroom, bathroom. That's the sound. Again, it's not path, it's path, path. Okay, path. Same with the word north. It's not north, it's north, north. South. Okay, south. That's also similar of that kind. So these are the examples for the phoneme. That's the sound. I think it's clear. Now let's learn the second phoneme, which is again almost similar to the previous one, but only difference is it is a voiced consonant. Okay, and we do not have again a clear representative alphabet in English, but it is again a combination of two sounds which is represented by the alphabets TH. And see, this is the phonemic symbol that represents the sound. Okay, just for your understanding, that's all. Now we'll see how the sound is manifested in these words, as in this, this. So here we can literally find the vibration. It's not this, it's this, this. Okay, so the vibration, that is the main difference between and th. Okay, th, that's the sound which is made by this phoneme. Z. This is a book. This is BBC World. That's how they pronounce, right? So another is that, that. That's the sound, that. Again, we have here leather, leather. Again, we have a word breathe, breathe. Okay, it's quite different from the previous sound, breath, breath. It's breathe. The z sound is heard. Okay, it's a buzzing sound. Now, over to another word which we often mispronounce. We pronounce it smooth. It's not smooth, it's smooth. Smooth. As in, here, smooth. Again, the same with the word mother. Mother. It's not mother, it's mother. See the buzzing sound, mother. Again, the same with father. Father. Okay, so that is a sound. Again, similar here, brother. Brother. That's a sound. Now we come to the last word. It's lather. Lather. Lather means form. That's a meaning. Okay, form. Pada. Arthana. Lather. See, in all these words, we have the sound z is heard. Z, which is a buzzing sound. It is a voiced consonant. It is quite different from the previous sound we learned. So these are two sounds. Now we go to the third one. Now as you utter the sound s, the tongue is literally lying flat on the bottom of your mouth and it's not touching anywhere, and the air is allowed to pass with audible friction through that limited space that we have here. As you utter s, s, and as you utter the sound, the lips is going to the sides, which gives a smiley face, and that's how the sound is produced. Now the syllable s is again a voiceless consonant, and as you utter the sound, the tongue is lying flat on the bottom of your mouth and the air is allowed to flow out, causing audible friction. And as the air flows out, as you utter the sounds, we find how we make a smile on our face as the lips are pulled to the sides. That's how the sound is produced. It's a voice consonant, alveolar fricative. So that is the technical name of it. Now we'll find how the sound is manifested in these words. As in quite simple, right? Again, we have a word here, peace. The word is pronounced as peace. We have the sound s heard and not z. We never say peas. It's peace. We have another word here, similar to this. We'll see how it is pronounced. What about this word? Quite different in spelling. Here also we have the same sound. The sound is the same. It's peas. Okay, even though the spellings are different, the pronunciation is the same. Okay, it's a homophone. Such words are called homophones because their sounds are quite similar. So here also we use the same phoneme. Peace. Again, same sound is heard. Sing. And again, even though a different alphabet, the sound is city. Okay, so unphonetic nature of the language. Now we have another C, but the pronunciation is acid. Okay, that's the pronunciation is heard. It's not acid, it's acid. Okay, that's it. Again, we have the doubling of the phonemes, but it is Bose. Okay, that's the pronunciation, Bose. In the case now over to the next word, it is case. Simple word. The last word is again simple. It is school. School. Again, that is known to us. So that is the third phoneme. Now let's learn the last phoneme, that is represented by the alphabet Z. So in British pronunciation, the letter is pronounced Z, but in American pronunciation, the letter is pronounced Z. Both pronunciations are correct. But since we are following the British pronunciation, we generally pronounce it as Z. Okay, that's it, Z. But remember, it's not EZ. Okay, it's Z. That is the pronunciation. Like this. That is the sound Z. Now we'll find how the sound is manifested in these words. Quite easy. Z. So see the buzzing sound, Z. It is a voiced consonant. Similarly here, zebra. Zebra. That's again a voice sound, zebra. Again, a word. So that is zebra. Now again, a word. See, here we have the sound S, but the pronunciation is not peace, but it is peas. Okay, peas, for that green seeds, the vegetable. So this is the pronunciation. It is peas. So we have to use this sound here, and it's not peas. So next time when you ask for green peas curry, you have to ask for green peas and not green peas. Okay, so that's the difference. It's Z. It's a voice consonant. The next word is again a simple one. It is zip. Zip. So it's again a simple word. It vibrates. Now let this word be here. We'll come to it soon. We go to the sound. Here we have again the Z sound. It's puzzle. Puzzle. Okay, the same Z sound. Here also it's quite an easy one to grasp. It's size. Size. Okay, see the buzzing sound. Next is again zinc. Zinc. Okay, it's quite different from sink. The ship sinks. It's different from this. The next word is a very important one because we often mispronounce the word. We have the sound S and we pronounce it rose. It's not rose, but it is rose. Rose. Okay, so we have a different O, which we'll learn soon, and the S is not S, but it is Z. It's rose. Rose. That's the sound. Rose. And suddenly I'm reminded of another word. The word is EYES. how do we pronounce it? Usually we pronounce ice, but it's not eyes, it's eyes. Eyes. Okay, so we have the sound this for this alphabet. It's eyes. So let's see how this word is pronounced. How do we pronounce this? We have the alphabet C, but remember the sound is not Z, but it is S. So here we have I-C-E, but the pronunciation is not eyes, it's ice. So this is a word where we use the phoneme S and not Z. Okay, so that is something, it's almost similar, but here we use Z, but here we use S. That's the difference. I hope it's clear. So remember, this is again a voiced consonant. It's a voiced alveolar fricative. And we find in all these words, the Z sound is making a buzzing sound. It's vibrating. Okay, that's it. I hope the 4 phonemes are clear. Keep on articulating, keep on practicing so that it will be a part of you. If my session has been beneficial for you, please subscribe and let me know more about what you think about the course so that we can make it better for you in the future. So stay tuned. Cheers.